Hi, I'm Jeff. This is Tropical Plants at 53 degrees north. So today we're going to do something I don't normally do. I'm just going to do like a random jump onto the camera style video and just have a look at some of the stuff that's going on. I normally plan these things, but I thought it'd be nice and refreshing for me anyway to just jump on here and see what's going on, because there's quite a few things to look at. And as I've been making other videos aimed at search, it's nice to do something a little bit off the cuff. It's just like a little bit of a break for me. It's Friday and it makes you want to do things off the cuff, doesn't it? So I'm just looking at the Mandevilla here, the Mandevilla sanderi, sometimes called Dipladenia sanderi, and I'm having a few problems with it, to be honest. It's looking okay. You look up, there's plenty of blooms, there's tons going on there. But my main problem is that I'm getting a lot of yellow leaves. Now it has actually, in fact I'll just point some out to you. I keep pulling them off, but they are very definitely more than last year, or they are very definitely more than last year. And it's blooming fine, there's no problem with the blooms whatsoever. And it is, I wouldn't say it's spreading quite the same. I don't think it's sending out quite as many of those new kind of twining, vining stems. Still looks absolutely gorgeous, but I'm wondering why it's getting all these leaves. That the conditions are the same as they've ever been. I've had it in here now, it's approaching a couple of years. It has still been, or it is still in the same pot, and I've kept watching it, but I'm thinking I may well be giving it a little bit too much water, and that might be a reason why. It could be that it's just ready for a renew of the pot. Now, you know, they're not like orchids. They can usually last longer than a couple of years. It has been fed, so I'm not really sure why. So if anyone's got any ideas, I'm all ears to try. I don't want to lose this thing. And I've had lost a couple of Mandevilla vines this year through one thing and another. So yeah, that's the first thing. Just have a little look at this Tradescantia red jewel. This is still the original one in the same pot. I've not really done anything with this. Still very, very pretty little blooms there. I like how it keeps throwing those up. I don't really do a lot with this. There's a few spider's webs in there. This one just seems to, not like the Tradescantia zebrina, which seems to need a little bit more care and attention. This one, certainly in this bushy form, does seem to be okay. I mean, you could say like the stems nearest to the pot aren't looking that great, but it's okay for now. I don't think it needs much attention. And as you know from my trillions of Tradescantia videos, it's very easy to take some insurance. Now, I've been quite new to African violets, Saintpaulias, and you may have seen that somebody, Smar from her channel, sent me some to try as cuttings, which I'll show you in a little while. But I'm getting into these simply because they're very pretty. I do love them. But it was the very, very first plant I had when I was about 6, 7, 8, something like that, was a Saintpaulia. And I only recently discovered that they are part of the Streptocarpus family. So I thought it would be really nice to continue that theme of gesneriads and grow some of these. So I'll show you some, because there's a couple that's in bloom. So let's have a look. There's another one down here. Oh, that one, by the way, that he was just looking at. You can tell this video is off the cuff. So this is Max Blackjack. Okay, so they're all hybrids. They're not, so there's no species ones. And this one down here with this nice big bloom on it is Le Macho. And there's a few more that are about to come out, so we will point those out when they do come out. My Tolumnias, I recently discovered from Lynn's channel that's got some nice new growth, new roots, and there's a new kind of fan coming on that. Recently discovered that if you just do as I do and drop them into a bucket of water, you may well rot the new fan. So that was new to me. So, you know, I've not been growing them very long, just a few months. Again, new roots coming on that one. They all seem to be doing something, he says. No, I can't see much going on that one. Update on the vine weevil problem. I've not found any vine weevil since the last time we discussed it, and they have all been treated with the chemical, and after I've done this video I'm going to treat them with the nematode treatment, and I haven't made a video on that. I don't know really, I've not decided yet which video to put up first, because I've discussed the pros and cons. This is looking really nice actually. I was thinking about taking it out of this pot. So this is my Staghorn fern. Apparently there are loads of different hybrids of these, but this one is the one that we only ever seem to get. We never seem to get this hybrid over in the this part of the world. But it's very definitely looking more Staghorn-like. I like that. It's a shame the pot's so big. I could do a smaller pot for it really, but that's all I had. Loads of growth coming on the orchids. I read something recently on Instagram, and I don't know the guy's name, but I'm sure any of you are like really into Instagram and really into your orchids will know this guy. He's Canadian, and his channel is Here But Not. Very strangely titled, although who am I to talk with tropical plants at 53 degrees north? And I just kind of randomly looked at one of his blogs, and it was all about watering and overwatering, and he was suggesting putting or taking a different perspective on it. Rather than saying overwatering, he suggested that there is no such thing as overwatering. What you actually have is an orchid that's in the wrong media, because and I've often thought this. I've often thought, you know, maybe we're talking semantics here, but I've often thought that plants in the wild, you know, do they get too much water? Do plants in the tropics get too much water? Do you see, you know, vast swathes of the rainforest dying off because it's rained too much that month? Well, no, you don't, do you? So, you know, I totally get where he's coming from, that if a pot has remained wet for a couple of weeks, then the chances are that you've actually got it in the wrong kind of media. And this is what I've been, even though I've not put it into such eloquent words as he has, this is really what I've been leading up to by swapping many of my orchids over to coconut husk, because it does seem to be more well drained for those pots that are staying wet, and those orchids that I'm getting root rot on. My Drosera regia seedlings, whether you can see those, I'll try and zoom in on them. They are just like excruciatingly slow, and it's a shame because I want this space for something else. The moss is growing faster than they are. They are growing, and we'll just have to bear with, you know, we'll just have to keep going with them and seeing what happens. I mentioned this great big giant cattleya a while back, and it is getting some new blooms. I did actually some new growth, so I'm happy about that, but I would like to see at least one bloom this year, but it's not going to happen, is it? Not with this tiny little growth here. That's assuming I don't knock it off. I might get one at the end of the year maybe. I noticed one of those little bush snails on a night, so that might be totally infested by those bush snails, so I'm going to have to do something about that. I've not done yet. Plumeria, again, it's always getting... Yep, you know who that is. It's always getting red spider mite, the little spider mites on the back, and I guess this is what makes these leaves go like this. So I have to keep an eye out for that, because they continually recur. You know, I'm in the clear, I spray it, I'm in the clear for a month or so, and then they come back. Again, will I get any blooms on that? Very unlikely. Same with that one. It's only recovered one leaf. This empty pot down here, there was my medusa, what do you call it? I can't remember. Habenaria medusa, which I was reliably informed that I shouldn't water it until it starts to grow. And I'm getting like itchy fingers wanting to water it, but I'll hang on and see if I get any growth on it first. It's going over a little bit now. Yeah, this is getting huge, this Begonia luxurians, so that's going to have to go on the floor, I think. I mean, I can actually prune these back, so maybe I could just take the tip off there, just take that tip off that last leaf, but it's hard to do, isn't it? I don't really like to cut it when it looks so flipping excellent. It just really does look nice. This Hippeastrum, this is Tres Chic. You've just missed it. It's not quite open yet. Oh, you're just not quite there. This one is, I can't remember, Sumatra. Hippeastrum Sumatra. That's looking really nice. One of the spider group, I believe. Everything else is looking great, still getting bigger and bigger. Now, I know you've seen it, but I've got to still show it you again. It looks it looks better and better as every day goes on. I mean, just check that out. Kohleria sunshine. There aren't many plants that give you that amount. Well, yeah, there probably are, but, you know, it does look excellent, doesn't it? And I really don't see many people growing them. Surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, but I see a lot of Russians growing them. I don't know why, but they seem to love their gesneriads over in Russia. Maybe it's just who I am following on Instagram. But there's still plenty more to come, and it's in a tiny little pot. And I can prune that back, I believe, once all these flowers are over. Somebody mentioned Gartman, Davey, I think his name was. I don't know if he'll watch this or not. I think it was him. I think he tried growing them and he found it got very leggy and he got fed up with it. I would say that, like, for me, this is completely different to what it was last year. Last year was its first year and it was very leggy, and I didn't let it go dormant because it comes from a tropical place and they don't go. You can actually get them in different places. I think there are some that grow in like, they do have some kind of a dormancy, but I don't think this one does. And I kept it going, and because of that, it's a stronger plant. So there's absolutely no reason why you have to let these things go dormant. Following up on my last video on the Tradescantia, yeah, I've got loads of little pots of them dotted about the place because, well, why not? You know, they fill gaps. They look quite nice. Are they my absolute favourite plant? No. Why do I make so many videos about them? Because my analytics show me that that's what people like. Now, obviously, if you don't like them, then that's not you, is it? I'm trying to be helpful. It's only my opinion. I'm not saying this is what you should do. I would never say, I'm a bit like one of those financial services. This is not advice. This is what I do and my opinion on it. If you want to take it and apply it to your own situation, great. I just hope that it's helpful, or that they are helpful for people. And yeah, my analytics show me that my Tradescantia videos, and the last Tradescantia video, it wasn't an exception. That went straight to the number one of my most viewed videos out of the last 10 videos. So I keep making them. You know, providing I've got something to talk about, I keep making them. Yeah, so you've seen this before. You've seen all these things before, but it's still looking superb, and it doesn't seem to want to stop producing new pictures, picture after picture after picture. And I put that down to the fact that I'm spraying them with dilute orchid feed. I can't think of any other reason other than maybe it's just they're more mature than they were before. But whatever the reason, they are looking absolutely superb.